I need to go out of the box, literally and figuratively. So I'm doing another DIY project for you guys. Look at that, you guys. It looks like something from a Chinese myth. Hello, it's me, Mimim, and welcome to my world. So I have unboxed the Mirage series of Skullpanda to celebrate the Lunar New Year, and now it's time for the part 2. You guys know, if you have been watching my videos, I always unbox a series and also do a DIY setup for that series. If you can see in my background, these are all of the series that I've unboxed, and I've DIY'd all of their display cases. But for this one, I need to go out of the box, literally and figuratively. So that's why I'm quite excited, and hopefully the steps that I will provide you guys will be of help. If you want to recreate this setup or display, hopefully you can do it. But yeah, I'm quite excited. What are we waiting for? Let's go! Alright everyone, so again, I have unboxed my beautiful The Mirage series for Skullpanda. And now, we're back to our shenanigans again, and we're recreating like a scene for these beautiful figures. So I'm doing another DIY project for you guys. So now I'm be showing you guys what items that I would need for this project, and if you want to recreate this, what items you would need. So let's start with the basics. First is like a regular white glue, multi-purpose glue, some glue gun and a glue stick, you know. And for paints, you would need like a gray, a gold, and a black. I don't know if I would use this, but I think I would like create some gold accents somewhere. And then, you know, just the basics, some brush that you would need, a pencil, a pair of scissors, and like I have a lot of these papers right here, you guys, from different projects in the past. But yeah, it's not important what paper you would use, because a lot of these, it would just be like a background thing, like just a support for some of the materials and some of the designs. And then a colored chalk. I have a box of these. In my past project, I used the pink ones for a pink cloud effect. And yes, I'll be creating another cloud effect. So I'll be using the blue this time around. You would need this, like a Ziploc bag. If you know, you know. For my past project again, you would need this. And then let's move on to the other items. So these are the basics. And then now we're moving on to some of the decorations and stuff. So yeah. Okay, there's so much things on the table right now, and it's kind of overwhelming, but I'll go through it like one by one. I'll go through this first because there's a lot of it. This is like a fiber that you would use for like pillows and stuff. You would need these for like the cloud details that I'll be doing. So I'll put this outside of the frame because it's a lot. And then you would need like a moss, a miniature moss thing. I bought a lot of these. I mean, all of these from the Orange app. And then these trees. This is like a pack of like 12? No, 10. 10 pieces of like miniature trees. Yeah, these I also bought from the Orange app, you guys, and it's so amazing. This is 3D printed. I mean, it's so amazing. This is like a pagoda. I searched like a miniature pagoda or Chinese pagoda, and then it came up with this. I was so nervous because there's not a lot of like people buying from that shop, so I thought it would be like a scam or something. But it did arrive, and it has like a light. Let me show you guys. Oh, it's locked. So it has a light, and then you can put it in the pagoda like so, and then you would be covering it like that. It looks so amazing, you guys. It is much more brighter in person. There's just a lot of lights in my studio right now, but it's so bright in person. And this is here. It's not missing. You have two of it, so if you break or lose one, you'll have an extra. So the overall look is like that. It's so cute, you guys. Look at that. I'll be putting it at the back. And then another like Chinese building, like a old Chinese building. I think this is like a guard watchtower or something. A Chinese watchtower, and it has light also. And it also has a thing at the top. Where's that? Oh, it's here. Let me open it. You also get two, just in case you lose one. Look at that. So cool. And it's all, again, it's all 3D printed. And then these, you guys, I ordered, but instead of searching like miniature things, I searched for aquarium designs. And it was amazing. At first, this one, I ordered two of them, different designs. Look at that, you guys. Let me put this bubble wrap here. Look at that. It's so cool. It's like a mountain from those Chinese paintings, you know. And a lot of these, it's so aquatic because it's plastic. So that's why I'll be putting some of these trees in here and popping up like randomly, and these mosses as well, somehow, somewhere. But it's so tall, it can't even fit in the frame. This one turned out amazing, but the other one, you guys, is broken, unfortunately. So it's here. Oh my god, I was so heartbroken when I saw this, when I unboxed it. And look at that. It's a clean cut though. So I don't know, somehow I'll put this together with a super glue or something. There's even like a crack at the bottom, but it's a different design from the other one. It's so beautiful. It's just so unfortunate that it got broken. And again, I'll be putting some of the trees and the moss details in here. And then, unfortunately, talking about broken things, another thing that broke my heart. Look at that, you guys. Oh my god, it's all broken. Supposed to be like a Buddha. The head is snapped off, like so, and the hand as well is snapped off from here. How do I put it? Okay, it's supposed to be like that, and it has that weathered look, ironically, but it's actually weathered. It's all broken into pieces. So again, I'll try to find a way to put these back together somehow, and I'll be using those paints that I have, the gray and the black, to paint some of these cracks and fake the weathered look again. But yeah, these are all of the things that you would need for this project, and then I'll be showing you guys the most important one. Okay, last but not the least, you guys, is the display. So I'll be doing a new kind of DIY for this one, because these orbs for the Skullpanda are so huge that the normal display case that I use won't fit all of them, or they would just look weird in them, and I can't do a lot of the design. So I searched for like an acrylic riser that would fit a lot of these figures, and I don't know if I could build it now, but a lot of these have this like per level, and I searched high and low because these have a lot of width to them. Like the stands of each of these has a lot of width, so it needs to accommodate the entire thing without falling. Let me show you guys. So I measured this stand of the Mirage series and tried to search for a display riser that could fit all of these. And I think this is just 8 levels, and then one would be like on the ground, I think. But yeah, built, it would be like this. I'll be showing you guys the picture of the riser. But yeah, I searched high and low for this riser, you guys, because a lot of the risers are for just those smaller figures of Skullpanda or a lot of like art toys. But these again are very, very different. They're like in orbs and take up so much space. So this would be like the base of the entire design. They would be displayed somehow, and then the designs would be around them. Okay, so if you have been watching my channel for a long time now, these are some of the examples of the DIY projects that I did. This is for the Action Cut series, and this is for the Candy Monster Town, if I remember correctly. And it's all in this display case, like in a box or something. But what I'm planning for the Mirage series is to be displayed here, you guys. So along with my resin statue over here, I'll be displaying it right over here. Like it's a big space, so the display stairs or something would be in the middle. Some of the designs would be on the side and on the back. And yeah, it would be like an open space DIY display, you know? But yeah, I'm quite excited how this would turn out. Okay, so first of all, apologies. My neighbor has been doing some housework. So if you hear that, sorry. But today has been really sunny, so I get to do this outside because it's kind of messy. So I have to do it outside. So again, your Ziploc bag, and then get your chalk, get your blue chalk. So I'll start with one blue chalk, I guess, and see the saturation of the color. So you have to do is drop this into the Ziploc bag and just pound it and crush it into dust. So here it is. I've crushed it into dust. There, the sun is shining again, but the dust is here. So we'll just put in some of the fiber. Start with maybe a handful, I guess. Maybe that much. And let's see. Seal it. Then just shake it around like so. Okay. So far I like the color that it took because I don't want it to be very deep blue. I was worried because the chalk was kind of dark blue, but this is good. So this we'll be using as an accent for a lot of our clouds. So white is the base, and then the blue would be the accent to the clouds, if that makes sense. Alright everyone, so I have here the display case that we are basing this design on. So this is the display case that I've bought. I've built it off screen because it would take me hours to complete it on screen. But yeah, this is the base. I know it doesn't fit in the whole screen, but basically the idea is this is the base where all of our figures are in, and then two of those rocks or mountain display would be on the side, and everything in here, like the base here, would be all clouds. And then our random pieces of clouds would be floating around on the side, on top, and all that. And then at the top, like at the top of the display case, would be the Buddha and the buildings that we bought from the Orange app. So we're basing it on a Chinese design. I've searched like designs of like Chinese art and stuff. So this is what I came up with. And hopefully it does turn out good. Okay, so let's work on the clouds first. The random clouds that would be hanging around the figures. But basically, this process would be the same for the bottom base clouds. So I have like a random paper here, scratch paper, or you could use bond paper. You could use like a white paper or any colored paper if you want, but I would like to use a white paper because we're doing clouds. But basically what we're doing here is we're trying to make a cloud-like shape. For now, let's start with the usual elongated, and then there's this top design like so, like a pie, like so. I know it's very dirty, but it's not important. Just the random, not random, but the general shape of the clouds. Again, you can make a circle or an oblong or an even bigger shape, but this is what we're doing for now. So you have to cut this out. Okay, again, so this is the rough shape of the clouds that we are making, like so. But I would make multiple clouds, different sizes and stuff. But yeah, I'll start with this and then I'll put this on the side. Okay, so for this step, you will need, again, the shape of the cloud that you want, a rough shape, glue, and fiber. So this is the fiber that I use, like what they use in pillows and stuff. But basically, you would put glue on your general cloud shape, like so. Make sure to get the edges because those are important so that the fiber won't lift up on the sides, because you want them to be secured on the sides for it to catch on the shape of the cloud. And then just fill in the middle part, like so. So now that we have put glue on top of our paper, then I'll shred some fiber and put it on top of the paper, like so. Trying to put more on the side because we could add more. And then you would need to have like a heavy object to push this, smush this down so that the fiber would basically stick on all of the glue that you put. And now when it's dried, it would look like this. See? And this is the random paper that you would cut. This is a different piece. Just to save time, I made it dry. So this is the next step. So for now, we'll need the colored fiber that we created. So now we're putting accents on the clouds, basically. So I have here a half of a cloud, but it's too fluffy now. I might take some of the fiber so that I could put on some of the blue fiber accents. So there are some areas that would be like sparse already, and that's where we put on the blue fiber. And also for this step, you would need like some stick or something. I have like a random screw that I got from assembling the display case or the display steps. So I have like a random screw. You can have like a random stick or your paintbrush, I guess. But this is to push in the blue fiber into the white fiber. So we'll get some blue fiber here and maybe add it to the center like so. And then what you would do is poke that fiber into the white cloud like so. Try to drag that fiber, try to incorporate it like so. That's the middle part, and then we can add some on this side. So again, just try to poke that blue in, try to pull the fiber like wide, and again incorporate it to the cloud. Okay, I guess I'm happy with this. As you can see, it's so cute. It's the white clouds with the accent of the blue. If you're not happy with the shape, again, just poke the fibers into the shape that you want. We have an oblong shape here, so we're just going for an oblong shape and not have a lot of scragglies fiber around the clouds. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you would do the same on the other side. One advice that I would want to give you guys is when putting the blue on the other side, if there are blue that are reaching into this side or like the other side, continue that blue so that the color story would be, consistent. Like it's not blue here and then half would be white again here. So it would look like one whole cloud. And then when you incorporate the fiber in, reach onto the other side and incorporate the fibers on both sides so that this line here won't be visible. Okay, I'll show you guys an example of a cloud that I've made already. Okay, so we have it here. This is a cloud that I've already finished. As you can see, I don't know if you could see from the camera, but we have a piece of paper here. Again, you have to reach the fiber here and reach it to the other side to try and incorporate both sides, and it would look like one big cloud instead of, you're doing one side and then the other like so. As you can see, it looks so cute all around. Again, as I have suggested, when there's blue reaching into the other side, continue it on the other side as well. And as you can see, I have a nylon here because we are putting this to the roof of the installment area. So I would suggest, let's get the other cloud again, this one, the half one. Before making the other side, so you would need a nylon like this. Just make sure to not have a very thick nylon because you want this to be somehow invisible and to make the clouds look like they're floating. So I'll get a certain length of nylon here, maybe like that, just a generous length because I'm still not decided yet on the placements of these clouds. So we get our nylon, and then what I did is tie the one end of the nylon so that there would be like an area where it's kind of flat. I don't know if you could see that. Flat, like so. And then we would glue this down, this flat area down onto the cloud like that. So let's plug in my glue stick here. And I would suggest for you to have a random piece of paper so that the glue would just drip down there, because glue stick does that. It drips down. Okay, now the glue stick is all heated up. Let's put on glue stick. I'm right-handed, you guys. This is the wrong position for me. Okay, I'll put on some glue stick at the back of the flat part, and then I'll stick it right here. Just be careful not to burn yourself, and then put more on top like so, just to seal it all in. Okay, I think it's hardening, so it's like that. Again, you would work on the other side, put on glue here, especially on this side, so that fibers would stick here, and then put on white fiber, and then the accents again with the blue on top. Okay, now that we're through with the steps on how to create a cloud, now we're going through the other aspects of our design, which is the mountains or rocks that we bought from the Orange app. This is quite nice already, but these sleeves are too plasticky for me. They don't look like appropriate for the size. These leaves are too big, and I would like for this like rock formation to look like a mountain, you know? So I would use these trees right here, a pack of trees, but we're not just putting the trees on top of them. So we have to cut up these trees. So you would need a scissor, a pair of scissors as well. But before that, these are all glued inside there. So we have to just pull them out. Okay, I pulled one out, so there is a hole there that we could insert one of these trees. But yeah, you'll do this with all of these plastic leaves from this rock formation. But so just remember that this is a mountain. So much of the vegetation would be growing down like so, or trying to, you know, spurt out of the mountain. So this is one tree right here. But what I would do is I would try to cut all of these branches down like so, cutting down these branches. Yeah, I guess I'll just stop there for now. What I would do is try to see what branches I can try to put together to recreate like this shape or this general shape. Again, pull out your glue gun right here. Okay, now that the glue gun is hot, put on some glue on the base of this branch. Try to incorporate that branch here. Like so. See? We created another shape of branches or trees that would fit onto here. Okay? So we have again here the leaves that we pulled out, and then we have created this. So as you can see, the leaves here are much smaller. So when compared to the rock formation, it would look smaller or more appropriate in size. So again, search where you got this from. So it's right here. And then just put some glue onto the bottom side and put it right here. Okay, I tried to make sure to put on a lot of glue because the holes here are much wider. So here it is, you guys. It's all in there. So not the exact shape, but the general shape that we were going for. So it looks more appropriate for the mountain look that we want compared to this, and it's less plasticky looking. So you would do the same for the rest of these vegetations in this rock formation. Now, this step is more on the details because I like putting on small details into my designs. So, again, I have my scratch paper here that a lot of the hot glue droppings are in. And then you would need a gray paint and a black paint, like so. And then what I plan is, this is one of the designs that I showed you guys that was broken. And as you can see here, I mended it already. It's all glued back, but this is quite distracting. So I would try to paint over that and try to age the statue. And then you would do this to other parts of the design. And then you could put on some moss also, like so, all around the statues and again the mountains, and just use some glue. But for now, I'll show you guys the painting part. So I'll try to mix the correct amount of black and gray. So I guess that's good. And then I'll paint over the neck of this Buddha statue. Okay, like so. It's not as obvious. I have to maybe blend it more and try to find the correct shade, I guess, but it does look way better now. And then, again, I have this miniature moss right here. Ooh, it looks nice. It looks stringy. I won't put on glue first. I'll just try to eyeball it so that I can still change it, you know. Ooh, I think that looks nice as a start. It's really up to you, you guys. You need to trust your judgment and trust your gut with everything that you do. Everything that you design is your imagination. It actually looks decent than what I thought. Like so. And just to keep all of those in, just use some glue. Alright, to start off, I'll show you guys the finished product of one of the major structures or design in this DIY project. I have shown you guys how to make one, and as you can see, I made a lot of them. I think I made 7. Yeah, 4 miniature ones or like smaller ones. I'll show it to you guys here. Look at that. So cute. They look so adorable. And as you can see, there are strings in there for me to hang them on the ceiling of the display that I have. They are different sizes and different shapes somehow, I think. Hopefully you can see that. And I've made 3 bigger pieces right here. Here you go. Here are the 3 bigger clouds that I made. One like circle one, a smaller yet elongated one. Here, look at the accents of the blue with the white clouds. It looks so cute. Look at that. This is the bigger piece right here. So I'm planning to put this bigger piece on the back and also this one, and then some of the smaller clouds to the front of the display case. But as you can see, you guys, it is so cute. It takes some time because you need to glue on the fiber, the white base, and then color the blue fiber, or color the fiber into blue, and just push in the blue details and all that. But at the end of the day, it's still fairly easy. It's not that complicated, but the results are very nice, you guys. Look at that. It looks so adorable. Yeah, so this is the clouds. I'll show you guys the base of the display case that I made. I haven't shown you how to do that, but it's basically the same with the clouds because, wait, I'll show you guys. All right, so we have the base right here. As you can see, it is a much bigger piece, but it's basically the same concept and process as I have done for the clouds, the hanging clouds. This is just to make the whole thing come together, like have a continuity, you know. I wanted to shoot for like a temple in the mountains, and it's like very inaccessible, and it's like through the clouds and stuff. So what I did for this one is I put all of the designs or decorations that I was planning to do and measured the perimeter where it would be displayed. And I cut a cartolina paper for this one. And then as you can see, there are holes here and there are markings and stuff. So I've marked where those decorations come in. But yeah, the idea is not to have clouds on the places where there would be decorations on, because one, it would be very inefficient because you would be working on putting some clouds there and then it would be covered. You know, it would just be a waste of time and materials. Plus, it also gives that reality, you know, because the displays or the decorations would be coming inside here of the sections, as you can see. And you would see on the final showcase of the display that it would be like, again, integrated in there. It won't be just standing on the clouds. And also, with a lot of the displays, the clouds are like fluffy, right? So there are tendency that it would be quite unstable. It would knock off or something, just a little like shake of the display, because the base is clouds and it's unstable, it would be knocked off. So I wanted to have a base for the display that is also flat and not covered by the clouds. It took some time covering all of them, trying to do section by section. And then for the back part, I planned something for it. So I have this here. Let me show you guys. Okay, so I have it here. This is like a connection to the back part. And as you can see, I did the front part as well, like with clouds and all of that. And it's just 2 boxes that I got and covered with cartolina paper. And for the top part, I just covered it with a grass paper. I know I did not show that as a requirement in the first part of the video, but this is just something that I thought of that it would make sense. But you guys can cover the upper part with clouds as well if you want. But it basically just goes in here at the back. So this part would be elevated, and then the front part here would be the steps, the display steps. So I'll show you the display steps next. All right, we have the display steps here. And as you can see, we did not do a lot to it. We just put some moss, some vine details to it to make it look like it belonged, because I can't have it blank and it would look pristine. but the rest of our display would be like quite mystical, quite old and mythical, you know. So I wanted to put some details on the display steps. So it's basically just that. I haven't glued down all of these details. I have yet to finalize them, but I've learned that if I glue them down, some of the strands would be glued down, but the rest would be falling off. So I think there won't be that much of a change. I would still have to play with it and try to see what looks good. But basically this is it. And as you can see, you guys, it gives that quite like oomph. Let me show you up close. It looks like an ancient display, and you can imagine the Mirage series displayed in here, and they would look marvelous. All right, so here are the two mountain display or details that we ordered from the Orange app, but I wasn't happy with how it looked. I'm gonna show you again how it looked like when we ordered it back from the start. But this is a step up, you guys, and it scratched my brain at the right places. It looks so cool. I'll show you guys. I've again replaced the trees that was supposed to be in there, because this is supposed to be an aquarium display, and of course it made sense for the leaves to be plastic, but for here it's still plastic, but it looks very detailed, and the fishes won't survive with these small like plastic leaves. But yeah, for this display it looks so cool. The size of the leaves for these trees looks much more appropriate for the look that we are going for. We're going for a huge tall mountain, so the trees need to look lush but also smaller than the rocks. And I've also added, as you can see, some vines in there, some vine details to make it look like an ancient mountain. But yeah, I am so proud of these, and they would be displayed at either side of the base. As I have shown you guys, I've already put some markers in there where they would go. All right, so these are the two Chinese buildings that I've bought from the Orange app. As I've told you guys, these are all 3D printed, and I got so lucky with them. I just put some vine details in there to make the building quite dilapidated or not kept up. And I've also, I think it's more clear with this building, but as you can see, I don't know if you could see that, but I've put some marks in there. I've used black and gray paint to make the building look dirtier and quite aged, because I've tried to put just these vines on them, but it looked like they don't belong. And as I've told you guys, to age, quote unquote age your props, you need to use some black and gray paint. So I just mixed some gray and some black to make some darker gray, or I just used black directly and just dilute it with water and paint everywhere, just to your heart's content, but make it look not whole black, but also there are patches of the former glory of the building, and it looks so good, you guys. And they would look also so good with the third detail that I have for them. As you can see, some of the vines kept falling off, but this is the third detail and the last for this display case. And look at that, you guys. This is the Buddha that I bought, and it arrived broken, and thankfully I was able to fix it, and I was able to put some dirty, quote unquote dirty details, make it aged, and it looks so cool. And I just again put some vine details around it making it look like an ancient statue. But as you can see, these are the details at the top of the mountain that we have here, and they look so good. I'm really excited to show you guys the final product. Alright, you guys, this is the look for the finished display that we just made. It looks so awesome. Look at that. The clouds are all hanging, the mountains are in there, and these buildings here look so good. And the Buddha, they look like, you know, an ancient temple among the clouds. Look at that. And this display staircase here, it looks so good. Look at that. It takes up quite a big space. Here is my resin statue over here, and this takes up more space than that, but it looks so awesome. This is without the figures. Then I'll show you guys this display with the figures in. Wait. Okay, you guys, so this is the display with all of the figures in there. They look so good. The colors of each figure stands out from the environment or the display that we made, which is one of my target. I did not want to put a lot of the same colors in the same level, but yeah, they look so good. Look at that, you guys. It looks like something from a Chinese myth, which is again my target or my point. Look at that. So good. All right, you guys, that's it. We finished one of my most adventurous or out of the box ideas that I've had for my DIY projects. As you guys can see, and as I've told you guys, I usually keep them in like a display box, and all of the design are just constricted into that box. I want that, you know, it's like a whole world in just one box. But for this one, the Mirage series is quite huge and it takes up a lot of space. So I needed to find a way, an idea to display it and still have that small world sneak peek into this series. And I'm quite happy how it turned out, you guys. And hopefully I instructed clearly and you guys are able to follow all of the steps that I have made. And hopefully you guys could recreate this for your own series. It may be the Mirage series or other series of figures that you want. It may be downscaled or upscaled. I want to see all of those. But yeah, I just enjoy the time when I get to have my creative juices flowing and my hands busy, because I can't do that with my regular job. So I really cherish all of these times when I get to be a creative and have that touch of the creative side of me. But yeah, please comment down below what part of this process do you guys like the most. And if you guys recreate this, please comment down below, because I would love to see your recreation of this. But yeah, that's it for this week's video. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the notification bell button so that you would be notified for future videos. Share this to all of your friends, your titos, your titas, your grandmoms, your granddads, everyone. Alright, that's it. Bye!